Let's get started with our lesson. There are 3 stages to any conversation: starting the conversation, continuing the conversation, and ending the conversation. Today we are going to talk about starting a conversation with another person. Before we begin, there are a few conversation rules you must learn. You first stand or sit about 1 arm's length away from the person you are talking to. Next, decide what you are going to talk about. Then, you get your listener's attention with words and without words. Make sure to use a voice loud enough for the person to hear you without yelling. And last, wait for a response. The first rule is to stand or sit 1 arm's length away from the person you are talking with. This means don't be too close to their face, but be close enough that the person can see you and hear you well. The second rule is to decide what you are going to talk about. You want to know exactly what you are going to say before you get the person's attention. What you talk about is up to you. It can be about the news, work, school, or whatever you choose. Be careful not to get too personal at first. Once you have decided on a conversation topic, it is time for rule number 3, get the listener's attention. There are 2 things you need to do to get a person's attention. First, get your listener's attention with words. Use greetings such as hello, or if you know the person's name, you can call them by name. Other things you can say include asking a question such as, how are you? And you could give the person a compliment. While you are getting someone's attention with words, don't forget about rule number 4. Make sure you can speak loud enough for the person to hear you without yelling. Next, you need to also try to get someone's attention without words. When you are trying to get someone's attention without words, you are using body movements. For example, you can stand near someone or wave to them to get their attention. You can make eye contact and smile or tap them on their shoulder to get their attention. The final rule for initiating a conversation is to wait for a response. Once you have attempted to get the person's attention with words and body language, then you wait. Make sure the person is listening. Sometimes you may say hi and also tap someone on the shoulder. You may also have to make eye contact and then pay the person a compliment. Those are the rules for initiating a conversation. Let's review. The 5 rules for initiating a conversation are to 1, don't be too close or too far away from the person you are talking to. 2, decide what to talk about. 3, get your listener's attention with words and without words. 4, speak loud enough for your listener to hear you without yelling. And 5, wait for a response. Now we are going to end the lesson by watching an example of someone starting a conversation. Notice how they use the rules for starting a conversation.
Good morning. Hi. I like your shirt. Thank you.
Hey, Amanda.